Hello students, I hope you are fine today. Let us continue with history. Chapter number 2, from hunting, gathering to growing food. Again I am repeating the chapter name, from hunting, gathering to growing food. In a previous video we have learned about to the earliest people and why were they on the move. That is about hunter gatherers, and the name comes from the way in which they got their food in different regions, why they moved from place to place, and how do we know about them. People through archaeologists, evidences and the stone tools that they used. And what place did they choose to live? We can say that the places near the sources of water like rivers and lakes. And one of the biggest discovery is made by man was fire. So, how did they use fire? So, and around 12,000 years ago, the climate of the world started changing, and the development of grasslands, which in turn led to the increasing number like deer, antelope, goat, sheep, etc. Then people started thinking, rearing the animals themselves, and fishing also became important. This was the beginning of farming and herding, and the first animal to be tamed was the wild ancestor of the dog. Now, today we will be learning more about this unit. In this unit, we will learn about some following points. First, domestication. Second, a new way of life. Third, storing animals. Fourth, finding out about first farmers and herders. Fifth, towards shuttle life. Sixth, a closer look living and dying in Mehrgarh. And seventh, elsewhere, cave paintings in France, a Neolithic site, Turkey. Now, first we will start our first point, domestication. So, what is domestication? So, domestication is the name given to the process in which people grow plants and look after animals. Very often, plants and animals that are tended by people become different from wild plants and animals. This is because people select plants and animals for domestication. For example, they select those plants and animals that are not prone to disease. Now, what kind of plants did they select? We can say that they also select plants that yield large size grain and have strong stalk capable of bearing the weight of the ripe again. Seeds from selected plants are preserved and shown to ensure that new plants will have the same qualities. Earliest domesticated plants were wheat and barley. Now, do you know, children? Domestication was a gradual process that took place in many parts of the world. It began about 12,000 years ago. Virtually all the plant and animal produce that we use as food today is a result of domestication. Now, look at these two sets of teeth. So, we can say that amongst animals, those that are relatively gentle are selected for breeding. As a result, gradually domesticated animals and plants become different from wild animals and plants. For example, the teeth and horns of wild animals are usually much larger than those of domesticated animals. Now, let us learn new topic, a new way of life. Let's see one example. If you plant a seed, you will notice that it takes some time to grow. This may be for several days, weeks, months, and in some cases, years. When people begin growing plants, it meant that they had to stay in the same place for a long time, looking after the plants, watering, weeding, driving away animals and birds till the grain ripened, and then the grain had to be used carefully. As a grain had to be stored for both food and seed, people had to think of ways of storing it. In many areas, they began making large clay pots or wove baskets or dug pits into the ground to store the grains. Now, storing animals. What do you mean storing animals? So, animals multiply naturally. Besides, if they are looked after carefully, they provide milk, which is an important source of food, and meat whenever required. In other words, animals that are bred can be used as a store of food. Apart from food, what are the other things that could have been obtained from animals? What are animals used for today? Yes, we get wool for woolen clothes and leather from the animal's skin, and we prepare different kind of things from its skin. Now, let us find out the first farmers and herders. Children, if you notice a number of blue squares, each marks a site from where archaeologists have found evidence of early farmers and herders. These are found all over the subcontinent. Some of the most important ones are in the northwest, in present day Kashmir, and in east and south India. To find out whether these sites were settlements of farmers and herders, scientists study evidence of plants and animals. One of the most exciting finds includes remains of burnt grain. These grains may have been burnt accidentally or on purpose. Scientists can identify these grains, and so we know that a number of crops were grown in different parts of the subcontinent, and they can also identify the bones of different animals. Now we discuss about towards a settled life. How do we know they lived a settled life? We can say that archaeologists have found traces of huts or houses at some site. For instance, in Barzahom, in present day Kashmir, people built peat houses which were dug into the ground with steps leading into them. These may have provided shelter in cold weather. Archaeologists have also found cooking hearths both inside and outside the huts, which suggests that depending on weather, people could cook food either indoors and outdoors. Now, stone tools have been found from many sites. As well, many of these are different from the earlier Paleolithic tools. That is why they are called Neolithic. These include tools that were polished to give a fine cutting edge, and mortars and pestles used for grinding grain and other plants produce. Mortars and pestles are used for grinding grain even today. Several thousands years later, at the same time, tools of the Paleolithic types continued to be made and used. And remember, some tools were also made of bone. Many kinds of earthen pots have been found. These were sometimes decorated and were used for storing things. People began using pots for cooking food, especially Grain like rice, wheat, and lentils that now became an important part of the diet. Besides, they began weaving cloth using different kinds of materials. For example, cotton that could now be grown. Now, did things change everywhere and all at once? So, no. In many areas, men and women still continue to hunt and gather food, and elsewhere, people adopted farming and herding slowly. Over several thousand years, besides, in some cases, people try to combine these activities, doing different things during different seasons. Now we see a closer look living and dying in Mehrgarh. If you find Mehrgarh on map, the site is located in a fertile plain near the Bulan Pass, which is one of the most important routes into Iran. Mehrgarh was probably one of the places where people learned to grow barley and wheat and rear sheep and goats for the first time in this area. It is one of the earliest village that we know about. At this site, many animal bones were found. Bones of wild animals such as the deer and pig, and also bones of sheep and goat were found. Now, what other things finds in Mehrgarh? So, other finds at Mehrgarh include remains of square or rectangular houses. Each house had 4 or more compartments, and some of which may have been used for storage. Now, when people die, what do the relatives and farmers generally do? So, when people die, their relatives and friends generally pay respect to them. People look after them, perhaps in the belief that there is some form of life after death. Burial is one such arrangement. Several burial sites have been found at Mehrgarh. In one instance, the dead person was buried with goats, which were probably meant to serve as food in next world. Now let us see elsewhere cave painting in France. So the painting below is from a cave in France. This site was discovered by 4 school children more than 100 years ago. Paintings like these were made between 20,000 and 10,000 years ago. Many of these were of animals such as wild horses. Aurochs means an older wild form of cattle, bison, bully, rhinoceros, reindeer, and bear, painted in bright colors. These colors were made from minerals like ochre or iron ore, and charcoal. It is possible that these paintings were done on ceremonial occasions, or perhaps they were made for special rituals performed by hunters before they went in search of prey. Now, let us see about a Neolithic site. One of the most famous Neolithic sites was found in Turkey was Kettle Hugh. Several things were brought from great distances: flints from Syria, cowries from the Red Sea, shells from the Mediterranean Sea, and used in the settlement. Remember, there were no carts. Most things would have been carried on the backs of pack animals such as cattle or by people. Now you can understand these points about our lesson. Here we complete our unit number 2 in a history from. Thank you.